I'm coming to you out of the darkness. And we're diving very, very, very deep. We are now one day after the solar eclipse. And I feel as though there is some vital information that I left out of my previous video, what to do when there's a solar eclipse video. And it is my intention to come back and share some important insight that was not included in part 1. And I'm going to just jump straight in. Rahu and Ketu. In the West, we know them as the North Node and the South Node. These two powerful, potent energies are often hidden. Keyword, hidden. Hidden within our consciousness, hidden deep within our energy signatures, and also somehow, some way, they are often hidden and neglected. When the solar eclipse takes place, a lot of our consciousness goes to what we can physically see. We see the moon blocking out the sun. We can see that. We can see daylight turning into twilight right before our very eyes. But there are two energies that are at play, which are actually mathematical points. They're actually, Rahu and Ketu are actually mathematical points. And often they go hidden, especially Ketu. When you pull a natal chart, you will be able to find your North Node or Rahu. But it is Ketu who is often hidden and behind the scenes. You got to get a little crafty to find Ketu behind. You understand? All due respect, Ketu. All due respect. All due respect, Ketu. All due respect. And in some philosophies, Rahu and Ketu are linked to your life's purpose, your life's mission. They like to say that Rahu, which is your North Node, is what reveals what your purpose is for this particular incarnation, if you're so inclined to believe in reincarnation. And then we are often told that Ketu represents the gifts, the talents, the natural innate abilities that you developed in previous lifetimes, in previous incarnations, okay? And a lot of astrologers will tell you to head towards the direction of your North Node for this lifetime. The areas of expertise that you have mastered within your South Node or K2 are no longer highlighted in this particular incarnation. That's what a lot of astrologers will like to tell you. However, I have reason to believe, based off of the studies that I have been conducting and the experiments that I have been conducting, and right now I'm still in an ongoing experiment where I have been comparing and contrasting astrology from tropical viewpoint to a sidereal viewpoint. And now I even ventured off and I'm deep into the abyss of Chinese astrology and philosophy. And from another context and from another perspective, while we think we're knee deep in Scorpio season, we're actually in Libra season by some calculations from some of our brethrens and sistrens across the globe. And with that, it makes me think of balance and equality, being able to do both. You know how sometimes in the occult community, we like to talk about the left hand path versus the right hand path, and how some of us wisened up and we found the cheat code and we said, hold on, we both, we done created a gray path, or sometimes it's called the middle way. I'm starting to wisen up and I'm starting to believe that you need both Rahu and Ketu. If you didn't, you wouldn't have incarnated with both of them. Sometimes in some mythologies and in some stories, Rahu is considered to be the head, y'all. And you're just gonna have to take my word for it, because right now I can cite it. If you look into Vedic astrology, and if you look into the story and the etymology of Rahu and Ketu, you're going to find out that they were actually brothers on a quest for immortality. And they made a bargain. They assisted the gods, the devas, in attaining immortality. And when it came time for them to drink of the soma of eternal life, they kind of reneged. They reneged on the deal and attempted to kill them and cheat them out of their rights through their works, through their deeds. And so what happened is they were too late, because they already drunk from that cup of immortality. And I know I'm going really deep right now. I told you we're going deep. So they drunk through the cup of immortality, and what happened is they were decapitated. So their head was cut off. Okay, one of the devas cut their head off. And so what happened is what was once a brothers, or uh, became two. One became the head, which is Rahu. I may be forgetting bits and pieces of this tale, which is why I gave you the source. Go back and look at it. Rahu became the head. Ketu became the body without the head. So Rahu may be your intellect. It may be your conscious awareness. Whereas Ketu gives you your senses, your innate, ingrained, how do I put this? Um, it's like you're knowing what you know without having to be consciously aware. It's like it's what you know without knowing how you know. You see, and it's all good because you know it. Shoot, I know it. I don't ask me how I know this. I just know it. I just know it. You see, that's the energy that K2 embodies, and I think sometimes even myself possibly, we have done an injustice as astrologers, because we always try to point those who are astrologically inclined, those who are interested in these occultic art and this occultic science. We always try to steer you towards your north node Rahu, which is wonderful. Yes, I really feel like so you should learn how to embody and to master your Rahu energy. Of course, of course, of course. It's in your natal chart for a reason. Of course, it's going to have some type of impact and influence on your life. And of course, you should take the time out to cultivate it. But I'm here just making sure that for the solar eclipse, even for myself to come back for as a reference, I just want to make sure that I remind all of us to remember to honor both. You need both. You need both Rahu and Ketu. I don't care what they say about how Rahu is what's in the past, and not Rahu, how Ketu is what's in the past and Rahu is what's in the future. You need them both. A lot of times, I think I said on another video that in order to even predict the future, you have to have an understanding of your past. That's one powerful and potent technique right there to divine the future, is to have an understanding of your past patterns, of your past trends, not just of your own physical self, but of humanity, of past cycles, past rhythms. That's what astrology is about. Astrology is studying. and gaining insight and gaining intel and using that in order to make forecasts and predictions. I know I'm going really deep. This is really for my astrology students, really for those who are really astrologically inclined and lovers of astrology. Remember this: we embody Rahu energy, and we also embody Ketu energy. As a matter of fact, we connect Rahu energy and we connect Ketu energy. I'm thinking to myself, if you have the head, you also need the body. I feel like we need to connect Rahu and Ketu. And I mean, this is maybe like a working theory. This is from my meditations and supplications, and it really came through for this solar eclipse energy. Pay honor, respect, and homage to both. Cultivate both Rahu and Ketu. And if at all possible, connect both Rahu and Ketu. Think of them as different paths. Think of it as Rahu is a path, Ketu is a path. You want to do both. Signing in, out, above, beyond, below, beneath, underground, all around, uptown, downtown, midtown. Here, there, anywhere, everywhere, nowhere. Past, present, future. Now, remember Rahu and Ketu, both as one. Out.